Oh, so this right here is Nothing's new Plan B, aka the Nothing Phone 4B, and this is supposed to be Nothing's new entry-level phone, a spiritual successor, if you will, to the CMF Phone 2 Pro, the Nothing Phone 3A Lite. But this starts at 29,999 with a bank offer. Yep, all thanks to crazy high RAM and storage prices. I mean, this is the 2026 reality. The sooner we accept it, the better. It's not going to change. And you know what the more real, more practical question is this the phone to get under 30k right now with the available options? I mean, Nothing is clearly pitting this as the all-round phone with no major compromises, unlike a lot of other phones in this segment. So what exactly is the truth? That's what we do. We find out. So first up, it's a Nothing phone, so design is a big factor here. I mean, we have the Phone 4B in this white and this blue. There's also a black option if you want that. And there's an RCB edition done kind of tastefully if you ask me. And the whole design of the Nothing Phone 4B is kind of like a mix of the Phone 4A and the 4A Pro. And the bottom half is very similar to the 4A Pro with the dial, the Nothing branding. Now obviously the 4B has a plastic bag, although it has this soft touch finish. But on the top you get a similar transparent island which is slightly tinted, curved around the edges. And this is what gives it the Nothing feel. You can see the screws here, some metal elements, the pattern if you look very closely. I also like how Nothing has this ambient light sensor next to the flash for auto brightness, anti-flicker when using the cameras. And what this takes from the 4A is this Glyph bar. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but very similar. See, the 4B has 5 LEDs on the Glyph bar compared to 7 on the 4A, but that's pretty much it. The functionality remains the same. I mean, you still get the red recording light for video and audio recording, very cool. There's different animations for the ringtones, notification tones, and you get the same exact features. I mean, 3 brightness levels, works as a volume indicator, it works as a timer, progress bar for apps like Uber and Zomato. There's also Glyph timer and the animation is really cool. There's also flip to Glyph, essential notifications with rules, you can set everything. So no compromises on that. Apart from that, coming back to the design, you get the plastic frame, the contrast colored buttons. You also get the essential key here to save things in essential space. Use essential voice to type with your voice, and it's actually good, very accurate, auto-edit stuff, nice. Now as for the dimensions, this is 8.6 millimeters thick, weighs around 210 grams, so not heavy, not too lightweight, kind of in the middle. And what's surprising here is that this packs in Nothing's biggest battery ever. This has a 6000 mAh battery, and this is only in India. I know it's not silicon carbon, but that's fine. At least we're getting a big battery. And we've been getting crazy battery life here. The other day, it got me 9 hours of screen on time, and this was 40% on 5G, 60% on Wi-Fi. And this was with lots of media, social media, also camera use, and half an hour of gaming. And we've seen Nothing phones perform really well in a battery test, so not exactly surprising. Now, charging is on the slower side. This supports a max charging speed of 33 watts, I know. And it's not CMF, it's Nothing, so, BYOC, bring your own charger. Sorry. And we actually did a Tesla charging with the PD charger we have, and this went from 10 to 100% in 2 hours. Anyway, coming back, this has the IP64 rating for splash resistance, and this is also said to be more bend resistant compared to the Nothing Phone 3A Lite. I mean, not testing that, but whatever. And this has dual SIM slots with Wi-Fi calling, 5G calling, and the call sounds perfect, no issues there. There's also no micro SD slot if you were kind of expecting that, and there's also no NFC in India, sadly. Now on the front you have a pre-applied screen protector, and you also get a clear soft case in the box, a USB-C cable, and this unique SIM ejector which looks like a tiny chip, easily the coolest SIM ejector I've seen. Now let's get real for a bit. So coming to the display, this one, and this actually has some good news, but there's also some bad news. Okay, so bad news first, and you can kind of see the bezels are not symmetrical here. I mean, you can see the thick chin. And the good news is this is still an AMOLED display. It's a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display from Samsung with a 120Hz refresh rate, 480Hz PWM dimming, 600 nits typical brightness, goes up to 1200 nits outdoors. And the screen is visible outdoors, obviously not super bright, but visible, not a problem. Even the colors, sharpness, everything looks fine when watching HDR videos on YouTube. Although there's no HDR Netflix here. Now there's one more good news, and that's the fact that this has proper dual stereo speakers. Yes, there's one proper speaker on the top, no earpiece speaker, although most of the heavy lifting is done by the bottom speaker. And this whole setup gets pretty loud, also rich, and sounds better compared to the 3A Lite and the Phone 2 Pro. I mean, just check this out. And yes, this has an optical fingerprint scanner which works fine. The haptics, however, are a bit muted here, and you can't change its intensity like you could on the CMF phone or the Nothing 3A Lite. Now the big part obviously is the performance, because that's one thing that's kind of messing up every mid-range and budget phone in 2026. And this is powered by the Snapdragon 6 Gen 4 processor, along with 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM, 128 or 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage. There's also vapor chamber cooling. Now I know UFS 2.2, but the Snapdragon 6 Gen 4 is actually better than it seems. Thank you, Qualcomm. I mean, to give you an idea, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 4 is basically the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3, but clocked slightly lower. Again, thank you, Qualcomm. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the most powerful chipset at this price, as you can make out from the benchmark scores. But as to how it performs, I tried some gaming and both BGMI and COD run at 90 FPS. And I played a match and you can see the frame rate. There's a dip at times, but mostly it was smooth, hovering around 80-85 FPS. And 20 minutes of BGMI drained 7% battery. And yeah, one thing to note, the phone does not heat up. Now in day-to-day usage, the phone runs smooth. It's not snappy exactly, but I did not see any lag or jitter. Also thanks to Nothing OS 4.1, because this is very clean and very smooth here. Now the only pre-installed apps here are Instagram, Facebook, Amazon Music, and even these can be removed fully, so good job. And I couldn't find log glimpse, aka glance, so all good. Another thing to note, I have the top-end 256GB variant, and out of the box I had 234GB available. Only 22GB was used by system data and apps, so like I said, very lightweight and nice. Now Nothing OS is a fan favorite OS and it's great. It's a full experience, no cut downs for the budget phone. So you get all the cool widgets and you can get more from Nothing's Playground community app. You also get all the customization features for wallpapers, the icons. I mean, it's no nonsense, especially with actually useful essential features. I mean, I already talked about essential space and voice, but there's also essential search that lets you search for anything on the phone, even on the internet. Then there's essential apps, which is crazy good. I mean, you can literally make personalized widgets, apps with this using natural language. I mean, this F1 schedule widget is pretty cool, right? Yeah, Max fans, we should look ahead because let's not talk about Silverstone, right? And this will get 3 years of major Android updates and 6 years of security patches, so pretty solid in this price segment. Now coming to the cameras, this has dual cameras, a 50MP main camera, which is a Samsung JN5 sensor with the f1.8 aperture, and there is OIS, so great. And there's an 8MP ultra wide. I mean, I'm just glad Nothing did not skip this. And you get all the cool camera features. I mean, there are these presets which are actually great. There's these new exclusive filters here, aka Disco and DV. And we have been testing the camera here, and one major standout has been the colors. Like, they're kind of perfect no matter what the situation. I also like how the camera handles exposure, and the dynamic range is also pretty good. I mean, photos are generally very eye-pleasing all the time. I mean, it's not absolutely perfect. Sometimes the details are kind of decentish in low light, but other than that, this is a fairly consistent main camera. Now as for the portraits, obviously no telephoto and you missed that, but these are some 1x and 2x portraits from the phone 4B. And as for the 16MP selfie camera, it's very good in daylight. I love the skin tones and the overall processing, but in low light, the photos can get a bit soft at times. Now as for videos, the main camera can record 4K 30fps max, the selfie can do 1080p 60fps, and you can see the videos, they're pretty stable, good colors. Honestly, I'm still sort of testing out the camera, so let me know which phone should I compare this with. Look, after trying out the new Nothing Phone 4B, I think there's two sides to it. On one side, it exists because the market forced it to. I mean, let's face it, Nothing was never about specs, and with this too, they're clearly focusing on a more balanced experience, getting the basics right. And for what it's worth, they've done a pretty good job at that. I mean, the cool Nothing design with the Glyph bar, the clean software, which is kind of rare now, great battery life, stereo speakers are here, decent performance, cameras that are, again, decent. But on the other side, there are things like the thicker bezels, no NFC in India. But it's 2026, so I guess Nothing had to make some compromises. And overall, if you think about it, this is actually a pretty balanced all-around phone under 30k that will appeal to a lot of people. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts on the new Nothing Phone 4B, so comment down below, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe to karo.